What's up, y'all? It's Nate Almighty. And right now, I want to give you guys what I feel are the top 6 reasons why a single mother cannot raise a fully developed male. Now, disclaimer, I'm aware of the fact that a lot of us men are products of single parent households, mainly by the mother. I basically was as well. I'm 30 years old. I'm in charge of my own life. I can at least say I'm doing better than I was doing last year, but also I'm a realist. My father died when I was 3 years old, and I know for a fact that certain aspects of myself, as far as being a man and dealing with certain things and certain, like, my life would be different in certain ways. And I feel like mentally and emotionally, or maybe even lifestyle, career-wise, I would be at different plateaus and at different levels had my father been around and stayed consistent, because my father was a real father. He was a hands-on dad, and even though he left when I was a kid, I remember always being around him and being with him and being influenced by him. So I want people to know before I get into this that this doesn't apply to everyone. This doesn't apply to every single mother in the world, in America. There are always exceptions to any rule. No one thing is always constant for everybody, but these are my top reasons why I feel like a single mother, 99% of the time, cannot raise a fully developed man. Number 1 reason: a single mom doesn't have the time due to having to work, go to school, or chasing some guy around / having fun. Realistically, I've had issues with the mother of my son several times over being on time to do things with my son, having my son at doctor's appointments at the right time, on the right days, getting my son to school on time every single day. And me just being honest, at that current moment in time, I don't talk to her. I don't know what she's doing. I got a pretty good idea because we're from the same place. But I'm not gonna speak on what I'm not seeing now. But at that time, it seemed like the bitch was just wasting a whole lot of time. When you have a child, because I was in New York still, and my son was still primarily living with her, primarily staying with her. I found it a big issue when you are from the train about 30 minutes away from my son's school, yet my son is hardly ever getting to school on time and he's falling behind on his grades. I'm going to acknowledge the fact that anyone can change and be a better person, and I'm going to acknowledge that I'm not a perfect parent. She's not a perfect parent. But there's just some things that you got to discipline yourself for. And when you're a young woman, early 20s, and you haven't been brought up to be disciplined, you're not just going to become more disciplined when you have a kid, you know what I'm saying? So there's definitely a bit of stupidity and laziness involved with that situation. Just like how I go to court and, you know what I'm saying, things is looking weird on her side, but I got the damn judge giving people all these extra chances, you know what I'm saying, for what? All these extra chances for mediocrity when there's a better way of living for my child on another side. But let me not go off into a tangent. Number 2, most moms are very passive. So they do not discipline children at the right times and only when they are emotionally invested. Once again, this is not most mothers. However, I've seen firsthand what can happen when a mom gets really upset with a child. I've seen moms react and discipline kids out of anger way more than I've seen dads do it. For the most part, when I see a dad discipline a child, and this is excluding all the weird scenarios where these dads are like pedophiles or they're alcoholics and they're abusing their children. When we're talking about strictly discipline, for the most part, a dad, and all my dads will agree, when you feel like your child steps out of bounds and you need to discipline them, you're going to give them 1 or 2 warnings, and then you're swiftly grabbing them. You're going to give them a spanking over the knee, or send them to the corner, or whatever punishment you have for them. With moms, they coddle the children and let the children whine and nag, and they coddle them, and every time they whine, they give them something sweet to put in their mouth. Not all mothers, but I'm going to say most of them, because they're natural nurturers, right? But with the father not there, they get over nurtured. And this, the children know. The children always know how to work the mothers and the grandmothers, but they don't play with the fathers and the grandfathers like that. You know what I'm saying? The children will work the mother. And I've seen mothers give their kids chance after chance after chance after chance. And then the child just keeps working her, testing her luck, testing his luck. And then does something outrageous. And then the mother just snaps and then beats that child or overly disciplines that child. It happens. It happens. Moving on to number 3. Single moms cannot teach a young boy how to control his emotions. Most single moms. And the reason for this is being that she's a woman. She's a naturally emotional creature. At least 80%. And a mother is going to see her child upset and screaming and throwing a temper tantrum. A mother's first thing to do is to grab the child, hold the child, give the child a bottle, some food, some candy, stuff like that. The father is going to be a dad and say, hey, listen, especially if it's a boy. Hey, listen, shut up. We're not doing this no more. I told you. You're not getting the game. You're not playing the game. You're not watching TV. You're not doing none of the things you like to do until you do this the exact way that I told you to do it, and I want it done by this time. Otherwise, I'm taking away everything you love and care about. You'll be sitting in this room, counting sheep, staring at the ceiling, or worse. And a lot of times that tone will get things done. It's just a different type of interaction. There's just mothers and fathers, men and women, we were put here to work together, be a family, and it's a balance of what the mother and father brings that leads to the most developed child possible. You know what I'm saying? But moving on to number 4. A focused man is more disciplined than most women overall and will teach that to his son. Whereas most women or people in general are very impulsive, and that can lead to lots of bad decisions. What is better for a young man than a focused father that's disciplined for that child to look up to? For Saturdays, that child to have to get up with his father and do the routines that his father has to do, where the father will make him make his bed before he goes downstairs and clean his room before he goes outside. And yes, mothers do the same thing, but it's different when there's a father there and the father is doing this with his son. There's going to be conversations that a father and a son has that he's never going to have with his mother, in the way that he's going to have it with his father, and vice versa. This is what people need to understand. Moving along, we almost done. Number 5. The father, or male role model, is a constant reference to what a man should be if that man is on the right track. The father / role model is going to be that person that a young son aspires to be, because the mother and the father, or I'm going to say the positive male and female role models, are the first teachers in a child's life and the most important teachers. So if you got a dad who is disciplined, has his finances in order, taking care of his family, handling his business, and then he's in a working, functional relationship full of love with a woman who is equally yoked with, that child has the best chance possible to succeed. And this is what we all need. And number 6, to end it off, a single mom often grooms her son to be average because it's safer. My mom, I love my mother to death, but she never encouraged me to do nothing outside the box. She never encouraged me to do nothing creative, nothing exciting. Her thing for me was go to school, get a regular job so you can take care of yourself and your family. With a total disregard, I'm going to say, to any talents that I have, any interests that I have. Moms can get overbearing and they want to steer their children in the direction that they want to steer them in. Fathers can do that too. However, I've seen more fathers take personal interest in specific skills and talents that especially the young boy has, and then encourage that and help that flourish. Whether it's dealing with the creative arts that the child has a talent for, whether it's sports or whatever else the situation is. Whereas a mom wants stability. She wants her son to have stability. She just wants him to go to school, get a job, and be able to look out for her and take care of his family. It doesn't cause young men to go out and be risk takers, and I'm a product of that. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm untraining the way I was brought up, the way black men are brought up, and I'm trying to program myself to do something different, because I'll be damned if my sons come up the exact same way I did and not better, with more knowledge to be at a better position they are at 1,000,000 times over at 30 than I am right now. And that's it. Top 6 ways that a single mom cannot produce a well-developed man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.